used to from the past. So again, welcome to C. We hope to have many more of these events, and we're going to keep this dialogue with you and this conversation going all year long. I wanted to start by talking a little bit about the future of mobile. As I've reflected upon what our opportunity is as an ecosystem, I think it's quite unique. The addressable market opportunity alone with the products and services that all of you produce and that are available out there worldwide is an example of that. More than that, every time I meet with companies, when I meet with silicon providers, when I meet with software vendors and innovators, when I meet with professional service providers and OEMs, every time I meet with somebody, I get a little piece of a roadmap from them. I get a little question sometimes. What do you think about this? Do you really need this in the marketplace? I get a little view or a glimpse into the future. And I realize that everybody I'm working with, everybody we have been proud to bring into the foundation as an example, everybody we've started working with in the member community and in the developer networks that are out there, everyone is willing to have this conversation and is talking about the future in some context, in some way, shape, or form. That's quite rare for an open source movement, right? You may already know that one of the things we're doing, you could argue, has never been done before. We're taking a massive collection of platform technology code, 40 to 50 million lines of code, hundreds of pieces of individual intellectual property, the result of 10, 11 years at least of hard work by great developers, and we're open sourcing that. We're moving that into a distribution. We're building a model around that for collaboration and innovation. A lot of other open source initiatives, look no further than Linux, look no further than Eclipse, Apache, you can go down a list, right? They're usually greenfield opportunities, or what I'll call a white canvas, wherein an all-volunteer army comes in and helps build something up from the ground to fill a specific need. So in that way, again, we're doing something very different. Very, very different, and I'm going to talk some more about that here today. What I want to share with you in this opening is a roadmap. Now, it's very difficult when you're running any kind of open source organization, foundation, or otherwise, wherein you're completely dependent on contributions, right? To speculate, to say we know what's going to come, or who's going to tweak this, that, or the other thing in a software platform. So there's a lot of challenge inherent in what I'm going to talk to you about in the context of the roadmap. But I want you to see it. One of the reasons I want you to see it is because I recognize fully you're trying to run your respective businesses. You need dates, you need commitments, you need quality, you need to know. But there's another reason I'm going to tell you about this roadmap today. I've been listening to some other companies stand up and say they had the world's most advanced mobile operating systems. I don't believe it. I don't believe they do. I would be embarrassed to stand up and tell somebody because I could deliver cut and paste in a mobile product in 6 months that I had the world's most advanced mobile OS. So I said, well, what do I do about that? How can I help our ecosystem? How can I help the marketplace see and understand that what we actually have in the Symbian platform is truly the world's most advanced mobile operating system? What I have up here on the chart is an example of a release plan. So if you look at what is designated as Symbian 2, or to the power of 2, to the power of 3, and so on, you get an indication of a date. And let me explain what some of these milestones represent. We have several options available in our community for participation with any one of these distributions or releases. We're constantly going through a process of injecting or inserting new features and functionality, then maturing, then qualifying against reference hardware and so forth, and then certifying against and making sure that you're compliant with, as an example, operator certifications, language requirements and localization requirements throughout the world. And as a part of that process, it takes a little bit of time to fully mature a release. In the early days, when something up here says now and it says kits available, that means code. When you look up there and it says handsets or complete, that is the milestone by which you have that hardened asset. And we run simultaneous lines of code or progress and access to kits and release milestones. And that's what you're seeing a reference up here to today. In the Symbian 2, we think we're at Symbian 2 right now. And in Symbian 2 alone, you have this massive collection of features and functionality. It is unrivaled in the marketplace. But I'm not going to talk about that here today. I think you're very familiar with the products and services. I hope you're all carrying them to some degree. I'm going to talk about Symbian 3 and Symbian 4, because I want you to know what's coming. In a nutshell, 466 some odd new features and levels of functionality are actively being developed against the platform today. It's a stunning number. Anybody who would sit and take a position for a moment that this platform, that you in this community are standing still, would be so wrong in the face of this. And let me highlight what a couple of those things are. Some of this are incredible new technologies, graphics libraries known as Qt or Qt. You may be familiar with this. It gives us an incredible capability to truly advance the user interface available in the products that are built on the distribution. One of the things about the UI today sitting in Symbian 2 is that it has this intense, I would describe it, intense ability to provide focus and selection at all times. You know, when you're riding a scooter and you have your grandfather on the back of it in Bangalore in traffic trying to avoid an ox cart and a bus and all these other things, because of a focused input mechanism, because of consistency in patterns you can enter on a keypad or otherwise, I've seen it happen. These guys text while doing it. That's what focused UIs give you. They give you an option to provide consistent navigation via hard inputs and soft inputs. You have that today. We're taking it a step further. We're going to preserve that focus capability, that scroll and select flexibility. We're going to improve the usability of it in Symbian 3 and Symbian 4. And then, of course, we're also going to enhance that direct manipulation ability, that touch capability that you have there. There's a lot coming. Gesture frameworks, visual effects, transparency, misting and ghosting, layering, all kinds of things. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But there are a couple of other big features coming I want to discuss and I want to expose you to, because again, this is about the future and what you can expect that is under development to help you grow your businesses, increase your development activities, and so forth.